Hannah and Bella.
I'm Anna.
I'm Bella. We make alternative pop music. A lot of people compare us to Marina.
Well, Marina is one of our biggest inspirations. Also love Harry Styles a lot.
Yeah, Demi Lovato. All of those like early like Disney stars, Demi Lovato, Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez. We grew up with them, and so our music kind of just takes influence from them as well.
Yeah. Okay, so if we're going on an island, bringing one actress, one band member, one solo artist.
I'm taking actor. I'm taking The Rock. I'm taking Dwayne Johnson. He's in all the Island movies. I love that man.
King of the Jungle or whatever. Yeah. Honestly, he's my favorite actor too. Like he's just like such a comforting presence.
It's gonna be hard for us to not choose the same things.
I know it is. We're the same.
We like all the same people, but like Harry Styles is a band member and a solo artist, so he could count as either. But Harry Styles has to be there.
He does. I feel like he would be like a very good emotional support. I don't know. Solo artist? I mean, I feel like I could go so many different ways with this, but I thought of Toby Lou, who's a rapper. I feel like, you know, you gotta have that buff baby energy in there.
And we need some women. I'm taking Miley
Yeah,
Cyrus. Love Miley. She was our first ever concert we've been to, the Hannah Montana Best of Both Worlds tour.
Yeah.
So, Miley.
Favorite concert ever? That's really hard. Honestly, we've been to quite a few concerts, but I feel like I have to say One Direction just because of the emotional impact they had on me.
Yeah.
Huge One Direction fans over here.
We went to 3 One Direction concerts and
Yeah.
all in different locations, so we were pretty hardcore.
One was in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. One was in Chicago, Illinois. And another one, everyone's always like, why did you do this? But we drove to Winnipeg in Canada to go see One Direction. I don't know why, but we did, and it was fun.
How long is that drive?
It was like
a good 14 hours or something, yeah.
Oh God, that's such a long
Yeah, we just felt like making a trip out of it, honestly. We're like, I want to see them again. Let's just make it fun, do something we wouldn't expect.
Shamrock Shakes, yes or no?
Shamrock Shakes, yes.
Yeah, we actually wanted to get Shamrock Shakes like a few nights ago, and then we ended up getting something from D-Spot instead, and it was not a good milkshake, so
I wish I got that.
really
Shamrock
was missing
Shake.
that Shamrock Shake, honestly.
McFlurries over Blizzards.
I agree.
I don't know. I can't explain why.
I can't explain why either. Fruit roll-ups or fruit gushers?
Gushers.
Gushers, like the impact, I don't know. There's something about it that just hits different whenever you would eat them.
What's the process of you two making music as a collaborative group?
So it can go different ways. For most of our EP, it's been one of us started a song already, like we already had a song idea, lyrics, melody, and then we would just say, hey, I like this idea, let's come together and finish it. So it would be a lot of tweaking the lyrics or like making it into a structure. Definitely producing is 100% together. But then for other songs, like our recent 2 singles, we did from start to finish together, writing and production and everything. Yeah, you got anything, Dad?
Yeah, I mean, most of the times we just started writing music on our own, like in our own time, and then we would like show each other and be like, oh, hey, like I just started this song, and we're like, wait, that's actually really good, like we should finish it, do something with it. So that's like sort of how we started making music together. But yeah, I think more recently with Breathe and Nothing Here, we actually did those 2 like fully the way through together. But that was also, it was from a monthly class with Charlie Puth, so we were kind of assigned to make those 2 songs. Like Breathe was just like, you know, just a standard make a pop song. That's what we did, which actually was a little more challenging for us to make Breathe because we're so usually metaphorical with our lyrics that to like talk about like straight up like feelings of like anxiousness and fear like in a straight up language was different for us. Then Nothing Here, we kind of went back to our like metaphorical language, but like the point of Nothing Here was to make like an uncomfortable song. So it was uncomfortable in the way that most of our songs, you would probably notice, all have an aspect of hope in them. Like even like Tiny Music Box, it's like you're struggling, but at the end it's like, I will escape. So we always feel like we gotta leave that like hopeful feeling, but Nothing Here is just completely dark.
Just completely just depressing and leaving you in despair. And that was hard to do for us, but I think it turned out pretty cool. But Nothing Here has a lot of meaning to me, especially because I didn't realize it did at first. Like I had this whole like epiphany realization because when we were writing Nothing Here, we had the goal of just, let's just dig into the deepest, darkest parts of our brain and just over dramatize it and be really dramatic and emo, all that. But like we were kind of just making fun of it at first. And then I was sitting in my backyard and like listening to all our songs, and it just like hit me in that moment, wait, this is actually like telling me something about myself that I didn't realize. Nothing Here was telling me about my fear of hopelessness and just my fear of just staying in my comfort zone and never venturing out of it. What would happen is just I just would be living an unfulfilled life. And just that realization was really cool, that my music was able to tell me how I feel before I tell myself. And it just reassured me that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be writing songs.
Yeah, I think we've noticed that all of our songs, in a way, like we say, our music tells us how we feel before we tell ourselves. Because I feel like for us, music is kind of a way to like process our emotions. And like when we're writing, it's a lot of the times it's very unconscious. Like for me, the song that I had that epiphany moment with was Divine, which was from our first EP in 2020. I started writing that one myself when I was alone. It was like 2 a.m. or something, and I like just woke up and I was like, I just, you know, it sounds like romanticized, but I did feel that like I just needed to write. So I like, everyone in my house was asleep. I like went down to the basement to just start writing, and to me, I was like, I had no idea what I was saying. It was just kind of like words were coming out of me, and I just knew something special was from it. Just the fact that I had such, like with Divine, it's such like a visual imagery in my mind. Like I can just imagine exactly what's happening in the story, but like the visual representations are all like a metaphor. And what I like took honestly like a couple of years for me to realize, it was a metaphor for my like gender identity. Like my song Divine really helped me realize that I'm non-binary, and like was a coming out song to myself, and just really powerful in that way. Like using all the different pronouns in the songs, like I feel like listening to it, you might be confused, like there's a he, there's a face beneath, there's like a girl looking above the water, then it's like, no, you are divine, rushing up over me. Like there's so many different characters, but they're all different representations of me in different like stages of my life. I mean, obviously it means something different to Bella. Like all of our songs have different significances, like to each of us, and obviously most people won't listen to Divine and think like gender, but that's what I love about music too, is that it can just tell your own story and whatever you hear when you listen to it.
I feel like when we're writing songs, we're not thinking about whose story we're telling. It's kind of like a collective experience. And obviously we're twins, so we do have a lot of the same experiences, but we can kind of interpret it in our own ways. We can write a song and it can mean something different to both of us, and that's what's cool about it.
I definitely think there is a difference between being vulnerable on social media versus vulnerable in a song. Because I feel like, well, for artists, being vulnerable in a song comes more naturally, because it's sort of like I was just talking about, you're kind of explaining your emotions before you really process them. And for social media, you're kind of trying to keep up an image so much of the time that being vulnerable is kind of like a daring act to do, while being vulnerable in music is sort of expected. People want that authentic emotion, while on social media you're expected to just keep up an image a lot of the time, so it's harder in that way.
The first time we performed live, we were in 8th grade, and it was our school talent show. But like there were 1,000 people, so it was in front of our entire school, like grades 5 through 8. So it was nerve-wracking, but it was really fun, honestly. It was a really cool experience. We sang What a Feeling by One Direction, of course. Everyone knew us for being One Direction stans. But it was really a cool thing because everyone knew us as like these shy kids who never like spoke or did anything, and then so many people afterwards were like came up to us and were like, that was the twins? Like, who were those people? They were so confident and strong and like loud. So that was like just, it was a way to like come out of ourselves.
Dream collaboration, oh my gosh. For me, I feel like Demi Lovato. They have such like a beautiful, powerful voice that I would just love to work with them.
I think my dream collaboration would be Miley Cyrus because she does so many different things with genre lately. Like she's moved into the rock realm, she's done pop, and she's just got such a fire and a beautiful voice, and I've loved her since I was a kid.
Our family has honestly allowed us to even get into music. I mean, we had to even like realize, well, we're family, so obviously family has connected us to music in so many ways, but also like our dad is a musician and he has been such an inspiration and just guide in our music career. Like we would not be able to do anything we've been able to do and have all the amazing opportunities without our dad.
Yeah, he's the one who first started putting us in the studio because he has his own little home studio. So we were probably 8 years old when we first went in the studio and recorded a song, and it was just a fun experience for us as kids because we were just expressing ourselves, and we were actually really different as kids too because I was like way more loud and outgoing and they're more like shy. So like even if you listen to our first ever recorded song, it's like me like being like, it serves you right, and they're like,
it serves you right. Like I was so quiet.
Yeah, it's just it's been since we were kids, our dad mainly, but also our relatives, and I can get into so many stories about that, but we won't go there.
I feel like the biggest challenge is, well, first of all, producing music because, you know, I feel like we're mainly talented or like have expertise in vocals, then second comes songwriting, and then producing, because producing for us has been definitely newer, like a lot more recent. But also with songwriting, for some reason, we always struggle.
Verses.
With
Writing
verses.
It's so hard for some reason. Like the chorus is just like comes way more naturally, just the hooky parts. And then the verse is like, what?
We overthink the little details a little too
Yeah.
much. The biggest disconnect between a listener and a musician, I guess, is how they interpret the meaning, because I feel like the musician has their own interpretation that even if the listener thinks, oh, this is what it's about, like you never truly know. And then everyone's own experiences and life experiences make them interpret the same message in a different way. But I think that's a really cool thing too.
In a way, it connects them. So I don't know, it's hard to say what the biggest disconnect is because the process of any listener listening to an artist's song is connecting them.
It's true.
I haven't watched that many, to be honest.
Yeah, I've only watched the Chloe and Halle one, which was so cool.
Chloe and Halle are so cool, and obviously we love the sibling duo. So
and their harmonies are so beautiful.
Yeah.
I love to hear like live harmonies.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Chloe and Halle.